Welcome back to the Greenhorn Photo Taker. It is time to decide what gear I need to bring on my upcoming trip to Death Valley and the Alabama Hills. Man, it is getting close to trip time. A couple of notes before we get into it. The first couple videos were about planning and how to figure out what route to take and how many hours a day and sunset times and sunrise times, using Google Maps and Google Earth to figure out great photo locations. There are two installments discussing that. Check those out if you want. This one's more about the gear and how I'm going to shove all of this stuff into my small pack here. My working logic is I need to bring everything I need for photography as a carry-on the plane. I do not want to put anything in my check bag in case, well, two reasons. One, in case the bag gets thrown around and something gets broken. And two, in case the bag gets lost, I would have nothing to do for those 5 days. So I need to have my photo gear with me at all times, at least most of it. To the uninitiated, this probably looks like a bunch of gear that is, expensive and high quality. To the initiated, it's really not. This is a large looking kit, but in terms of high-end gear, there's not much here. But that's okay. I still have to go through the process of figuring out what I want to bring and what I want to focus on. What's not on the table is equipment I know I'm not going to use. I'm not going to bring my face light, my fill light for face when I'm video. There's no point to bringing that in the desert. I'm not bringing my macro lens. Things like that are not on the table because I would never bring them on a trip like that. So what you see here is truly what is within the art of possible to bring on a trip. One other point, I am recording on my phone because all my cameras are on the table. So in a moment, we will switch to a higher quality lens and body. But for now, I do need to decide which lens I am going to bring. So here are my options. Out of 4 bodies, there's really only 2 options, I think anyway. On the left here, this is the Sony a6700. It's an APS-C camera. I really, really like this camera, but I've fallen in love with full frame, and I can see the difference in my own photography when using it. I think the difference is rather small when it comes to outdoor landscape options. I notice it more in sports photography and astrophotography. But I also know that I will be, shooting in, dim areas, pre-sunrise, post-sunrise. So the A7 IV with the full frame option, I have to take this over this, even though this is lighter and would probably be easier to move around. This is a better option for what I'm trying to accomplish. The other option I have, and this is really, part of me wants to bring it for nostalgic reasons, but this is a hefty camera. It is the Sony RX10 Mark III. It is a point and shoot, non-interchangeable lens, but it's so much fun to use. It feels more like a DSLR, and it has a great, zoom from, what is the zoom on this? Something like 24 to 600 equivalent. So it captures everything that you could possibly want, but it's really a half-inch sensor or 1-inch sensor, so the quality is not close to these two. What I do need to decide is, do I bring my film camera just for fun? Because I have in my mind a picture of the Sierra Nevadas on film with a retro look that's really calling to me, but I don't know how to use this one. I'm not qualified to use this one with any skill yet, so I have to decide there. So I know for sure that I will be bringing the Sony a7 IV. I'm skipping the 6700, skipping the RX10, and I'm undecided about this. Hopefully by the end, that's the Canon AE one. Hopefully by the end of this video, we'll decide there. So I'm gonna switch now to the a6700 body to film the rest. All right, now I am filming on the A6700 on a Sigma 16mm. I will not be bringing either one of these. I doubt you'll notice it, but the 16mm was not on the table. I actually forgot about it. But it doesn't really matter because it's meant for the APS-C camera, so I will not be bringing it. And now I have one more change to make. I know I will be recording myself at times, so there is a microphone on the table that I'm going to definitely bring with me. I'm going to take it off the table, attach it to the 6700, and we'll talk about it soon. Okay, this is awkward. I have never vlogged with this camera before, or I've never vlogged with any camera other than a GoPro before. But I've got my microphone on here, so the sound quality should be improved, and maybe that's even a great way to show you why I'd rather have this on-body mic and not use the built-in mic. So now the question is, let's go to tripods for a minute. So in terms of tripods, I think my favorite is this Manfrotto. It is a bit heavier than this, I don't even know what this is, Photo Pro, but it's just a little bit more sturdy and more robust. I also like the fluid head top, which allows me to very easily switch from photos to videos at the same time. And this one, while it's lighter, it's a little bit less sturdy, and I don't love the head attachments to it. And that leaves just this monopod. This is an easy choice. I'd love to bring this honker of a lens. This is my wildlife lens. Man, if I could find a way to bring this Sigma, what is it, a 150 to 600, I believe? If I could find a way to bring this, I would be so happy. But it is a giant lens, and there's no way it'll fit in my pack. So that means my long wildlife telephoto lens is out, and I will not be bringing it, and therefore I do not need my monopod. This thing is extremely difficult to handhold, so I like to use the monopod with it, but without the lens, no need for the monopod. Some other easy choices now in terms of lens is let's get rid of the APS-C lens I know I will not be using. That'll be first this Sony 18-105. I really like this lens, but again, APS-C, as well as this wonderful little Sigma 18-50. This is a really fun lens, really light. You can walk around all day with this on the A6700 and really be happy with it. But again, APS-C. And I believe, is this the... Yep, this is the Sony APS-C telephoto. It's a 70-350. Again, this is really a quality lens, very sharp. The 350 focal length is equivalent to like 525 when it comes to full frame. So it is a really nice lens to have. But of course, it's APS-C, and I'm not going to bring it. Okay, we've narrowed down the list a lot. What we have to choose from now is really the full frame gear, GoPro gear, and what I want to do for nighttime stargazing, or even looking through binoculars for wildlife, or just looking at the mountains in general. I have a monocular and a binocular. Before we do that though, I did mention the microphone. Let's talk about those really quick. I know I'm definitely bringing this Ulanzi wireless mic, on-body mic. Makes everything a lot easier. But I also have this Rode shotgun mic. And normally I bring this out to listen to wildlife and nature sounds. So I can point this directional mic in the direction that I want to pick up stream noise, or I want to pick up a bird sound. And it really picks it up much better than this on-body mic, as this is geared toward getting someone's voice right close to the microphone. This picks things up from further away. So I would like to try to include this in my bag, but we'll have to see how stuffy that bag gets. Let's talk a minute about lens filters. I definitely want to bring my basically ND filters and polarizers for each different lens type. I don't need these honkers. I should have taken them off the table. They are part of the Sigma 180 to 600 that I'm not bringing, that chonker one, that really heavy lens. So let's take them off the table for now. The rest I do want to bring. Let's talk about this. I forgot I did have this little handheld tripod. This is pretty cool if you want to, give me a second here, put it on a rock or put it on the ground somewhere just for a quick and easy talking headshot with the real camera, as opposed to using one of these GoPros. I don't know how often I'm going to ever want to do that. I tend to just not worry about how good I look and the GoPro's okay for me, and really focus the video and photos on the subject and not me. So I think we can remove this one as well. I may come to regret that, but let's remove it. And speaking of the GoPros, I have a couple of things that are GoPro centric. I have an old GoPro 7 and a GoPro 10, along with the battery holder and charger. Definitely need the batteries. I can't imagine needing two GoPros. There are two uses for the GoPros. One, I attach it to the side of the car when I'm traveling on a scenic drive and I want to take hyperlapse footage. And the other is when I'm vlogging and talking to the camera, I'll have the GoPro on a selfie stick instead of the A6700 here. I just find it a lot easier. It's no nonsense. Don't have to focus. Don't have to worry about my arm getting tired. Don't have to worry about changing lenses. I just hit the button, turn it on, and there's a decent enough picture of me in it. So the two uses are never going to be needed at the same time. So I think one GoPro should suffice. So we'll take the modern version of the GoPro 10. I do plan on taking a lot of footage with the GoPro. So I'll bring two 256 megabyte memory card. I need both of these attachments. This is the tripod attachment for the camera. It screws in underneath here and attaches to the tripod. It's the fluid head. I wish I had one that was compatible with this as well. This is a wonderful attachment that allows me to hold just the camera on my strap for my bag. And I found when I'm walking around with the camera easily accessible with this ready release feature, it works like a charm, and I'm much more apt to pick up the camera and take a shot than put the bag down, unzip it, and take it out. Let's talk about the lenses. Do I need all three lenses? Probably. So in terms of more of a telephoto lens, this is the Tamron 70 to 180. I typically use this for indoor sports, but I know there will be times that I want to get a good shot of the Sierra Nevadas from a distance and maybe zoom in on one particular spot, and I will want this lens for sure when it comes to that. Which leaves me to my wide angle Sigma lens. This is a 16 to 28, and my walk around, it's a heavy lens. It's a 24 to 105 Sony lens. I like them both. This one here is so much sharper and so much lighter. And I think most of my shots will be in the 16 to 28 range, which means do I want to bring this relatively heavy lens, help me from 30 millimeters to 70 millimeters, when this will do the job at 70? It's a hard decision. I think I'm going to bring all three. I reserve the right to change my mind because I know this one will get little used, but I know at the same time I'm gonna be so mad if I don't bring it because there'll be a moment when I want it. It's also the less sharp of the three, but also the best for video. Binoculars versus monocular. I think I'm going to put the binoculars in my carry-on bag. They're not terribly expensive, and if they get lost, so be it, or broken. And just have the monocular in my camera bag just in case I need it to pick something out in the distance. It's more for fun and enjoyment in the moment than it is for actual use, but we'll see how that goes on the field. So let's say I'm gonna bring both, but this one is not going in the camera bag, so let's take it off the table. All right, we're close. I've not talked about this cleaning kit. I definitely need something to clean the lenses and take out the air pump and clean off the sensor. I don't have an actual cleaning kit on the table. I'm definitely bringing an actual lens sensor cleaning kit as well. I'll be in the desert. I expect winds, I expect dust. So each night when I get back to the hotel, I'm going to want to clean the sensor. So I'll bring that as well. Maybe not in the camera bag, but definitely we'll bring that. And now it's time to discuss this Canon AE-1. I want to bring it. I really do. And I know I'm overreacting, but there's mold in here, and I'm hesitant to store it with my other gear. I cannot imagine that'll make a huge difference. You know, by the time I transport it to the airport, from the airport in the car, could mold actually spread to another lens? I sincerely doubt that would happen. But at the same time, I don't want to take that risk. And it's my ignorance here, right? More than anything. And I'm looking at the camera, that's why. So we'll see. I think I'll also try to stick this in my carry-on bag. A dear friend of mine gave me this last fall. I have not had a chance to use it much. I definitely want to try to get out and use it locally before I try to take it out to California. But we'll see if that happens or not. Again, I know I'm gonna want to see a nice retro style photo of the Sierra Nevadas. I don't even know what lens we have here. Let's see. This is it's a 50mm lens. Okay, so that's not exactly a wide angle, but that is a perfect walking around lens. So I really want to try to make that work and give it a shot. Maybe I'll do some research about how long it takes mold to transfer from one lens to another. Even now, when they're stored in my house, it's in different rooms. Again, I know it's overkill. And I guess I also have to decide for the tripod itself, do I want to try to pack that on the side of the bag and take it on the carry-on? That also seems very bulky and difficult to manage. So maybe I'll try to stick my tripod in my suitcase and bring a large suitcase that'll be checked. You know, I don't need many clothes. I'm not like doing anything at night other than photography. I'll just need, you know, a couple of shorts and a handful of shirts and maybe a coat or pants that I can rewear over the 5 days. So this tripod should fit easily in there. I just can't see it being easy to put the camera bag in the overhead bin with the tripod sticking out the side. So I love earbuds. I have 2 pair here. This is the Sony Link Buds, and it is probably my favorite pair of earbuds of all time. I mostly listen to audiobooks and podcasts, so their lack of true sound quality doesn't really matter to me. They are so light, they snap in the ear and don't fall out, and they have a pretty cool hole right in the middle of them. Let's see if you can see that. See that hole? That's right in your ear canal, so it lets in the ambient noise. So when you're hiking, if a bear comes up to you or the people come up to you, you can still hear them and listen to your audiobook and your podcast or whatever, or music too. But sometimes you want real music, and these are the Pixel Buds Pro. All right, let's see if we can pack the bag with everything that I need. One thing to note, this is the laptop sleeve, so I will be bringing my laptop and definitely taking the video and photos off the camera and storing it on the laptop permanently each night. So to save space, I will definitely be bringing the body and the 16 to 28 already put together. Tamron 70 to 180. The Sony Chonker 24 to 105, no 24, yeah, 24 to 105. Tripod mount along with a cleaning kit. Microphone, I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm going to bring this. I think I would just regret not having it, even though it's fairly bulky and takes up some space. That'll go up here along with GoPro and the batteries. To be honest, this will be in the car most of the time, so having it in the bag is really just for transport reasons only. This will always be on my person. I use it wherever I go. We didn't talk about it, but this is my GoPro selfie stick. The lens filters pack away into these two small-ish bags. I unfortunately have too many different size lenses that I constantly need one type of filter or another. I probably don't need these because I'm not taking like long exposures, but again, it's just something I can't not bring with me in case I need it. So they fit in here as well. The Ulanzi microphone kit packs away into this bag. It also comes with these dead cats, which work extremely well. I'll need them in the wind. They fit right over the mic port here and screw on, and that way you don't get wind, breeze sounds and muffledness in your audio. That also fits up here. Now, I used to store a lot of this stuff on the other side of the bag, but it always ended up being a pain. You know, as I'm trying to grab something out of the bag or change a lens, I want everything that I could possibly need for that open from the back. Things I use less often, like the battery charger, the monocular, those can go on the other side. And let's do that now. So there are small compartments in the top that I will put memory cards in and my camera mount attachment, extra pair of glasses, and the battery charger can go in here. I'll likely leave some of this stuff in the hotel room if I don't need it. Like, I'm not gonna bring my charger out in the field with me. It'll just stay in the hotel room, but I don't wanna lose it. So I'll have that in the bag on the plane. Monocular can go in here. I have a rain sleeve here. I can put my two earbuds here. Up top here, if I want, I can store some water, maybe a snack or two. And let's also put on the tripod just to see. So that secures quite nicely. So what do you think? Should I have the tripod attached while I'm on the plane? I'm thinking no, but would love your input as well. All right, that'll do it. The next time we talk about Death Valley and the Sierra Nevadas, I should have a shit-eating grin on my face talking about the success of the photo journey. If you have any suggestions, please do leave them in the comments. Last video, someone posted a great suggestion about where to go into the Mesquite Flat sand dunes to avoid the crowds and get these special wind-swept features within the sand. I'm definitely going to check that out. So things like that are invaluable to me. If you come across the video and have any ideas for places to go out there, again, Death Valley and Sierra Nevada foothills, Alabama hills, or just how to pack gear and some travel tidbits would be great. Again, I've never done this. I've only brought one camera with one lens on every one of my trips in the past. So this whole experience is new to me, and I'm definitely worried about messing something up and either impacting my enjoyment, losing something, or impacting the quality of the photos. All right, thanks so much for watching. Get out and explore.